to the Straight Up Show podcast. I'm Calvin. We're coming with something brand new now, and I want to thank y'all for joining us. I am the host once again, Calvin, and I'm joined by two of four of the creators, Brandon and Lee. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey.
Thank you guys for coming on the show. It's kind of like a reunion for all of us, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't even heard from Lee, and it's been a while, honestly.
Yeah. I live in a cave out in the Alps now. No one really hears from me these days.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We got a lot to talk about. We're gonna tell you guys where we've been at and what's going on, and just kind of catch you back up and let you all know what's going on in the future. Like I said, we have switched from TV, from internet series, and now we're doing a podcast. And one of the reasons why, because like Lee said, we're all in different areas of the world. We graduated from college, or moved on. We're on careers. So, life is taking us to different places, but we are trying to make this thing happen again. Just kind of give you why we're doing this is because we kind of just, like I said, life went different for us, and we went our own ways, and but we got some views and comments from old stuff that we did and posted, and some of you all wanted us to do more and wanted to be more involved with Straight Up and the idea of Straight Up. So most of this going on right now, you guys reach out to us on social media, and so here we are. We're attempting to try this right now. This first episode is definitely a trial run, trying to get all the kinks out and audio and stuff like that. So bear with us. It won't be perfect at first, but we're definitely going to grow with this and keep going. Okay, so as most of you know, Straight Up is a show about just being straight up, honest, and so we started the show at school. So if Brandon or Lee, just kind of give everybody a history lesson on how this started.
You want to take that? I'll take it, Lee.
I can do it. The show started at a Johnny's Pizza, honestly.
Was it? Okay, I'm kind of confused.
Wait,
was it Johnny's?
I think it was Mr. Gaddy's.
Or was it the China Flag?
No,
it was China Flag. It was
China Flag?
Yes. It was
okay.
Because I think we started at China Flag, and then we kind of migrated towards Johnny's Pizza because it was like a little bit cheaper.
Right. Mr. Gaddy's was the news thing. That's what I'm thinking about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, we were just
thing.
like four college kids in a freaking Chinese buffet with a couple of fun ideas, and luckily our school was cool enough to let us run with them. And we got how many episodes did we get out of that?
I think, well, with us included, with the cast and everything, and as me hosting, I think 4.
Okay.
And before we go any further, we have to give a shout out to our fourth creator, who is Courtney. And Courtney's he's back in Louisiana. But so big shout out to Courtney for contributing and helping out. Courtney did most of the graphics and everything, and most of the directing. So on the sound. So thank you, Courtney, and if you're out there. So we always remember you and thank you for your help.
Sure enough.
Man, you made it seem like he's lost.
He's not lost, but
Courtney, if you're out there in the wilderness, we love you.
But come on, man, we love Courtney, but Courtney Courtney's like, hey, if you find me, you find me,
Yeah, that is how he is. Like, hey, if you find me, like, what's up?
So y'all, if we ever keep doing this and you get Courtney on the show, like I don't know, it's just gonna be a miracle. But Courtney's more of the director, kind of stay out of sight, out of mind. But he's been on the radio with us. So Courtney will come out of the show once in a while, but it's very hard. So Courtney, we want to thank you so much for all the help you've done with us. And like Lee said, it did start with all 4 of us in the restaurant, like we used to do after school. We had a scholarship program in school to where we worked on a news station. And so I think the school wanted more. We had access to a public access TV, and the school wanted more content on it. So I think that our minds got the bubbling, and and I'm not saying that we're outcast to most people, but I know I'm different, and I kind of embraced it. But the way I looked at it, and it's I still have the same mindset even in being an adult. But even in high school, I was not one to be part of cliques. I wanted to be friends with everybody, and I think that's kind of how my whole life has been. Just to include everyone. And it's kind of how I think we want to shape Straight Up, because there are people out there who like wrestling or like video games or like music or like different things that most people would say, oh, you shouldn't like that. And I think that's kind of one of the concepts that we wanted to come up with, say, hey, you know what? You may be different. You may have this on your mind, or you're going through relationship situations, and then it's kind of, what we wanted to bring Straight Up. So what do you guys think that, and I'll start with Brandon, what do you think that Straight Up means to you, or what it is meant to be?
Really, it's just a place where, like, if you have anything to vent about, or if you just have a mind that you just feel like, man, I wish I had a place to, like, really speak out on something, but, like, not be afraid to take criticism. I think that's one of the biggest things about people speaking out, especially we see that a lot now on social media. A lot of people want to dish out, but as soon as they get challenged, they turn into a small person. So just being straight up, me, especially being in, engaged now, Kenya has definitely made me think about the things I say. Man, I'm a very, very straight up person. I say what I want to say, and I'll say it right then and right there. That being said, I'm also a business owner, so, like, there's that, like, hesitation I have to put in, like, when I want. But here, you might, especially on my other podcast, I'm able to, like, really just speak out.
No holds barred, right?
Yeah, no holds barred.
And Lee, like, so same question to you, like, what do you think that Straight Up means to you?
Straight up to me is just, honestly, boils down to just honesty. Like right now, for instance, I'm kind of in the process of rebranding myself, like trying to figure out, like, what character do I want people to see when they're looking at my social media and stuff.
Right.
But, like, here on Straight Up, I can kind of just be myself, like, completely unfiltered, like, just have my own opinions and not worry about, okay, what's this going to cost me? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And that's a good way to look at it. So, I mean, thank y'all for all of that. And definitely, like I said, that's kind of what we wanted to build the show about. And so we kind of took this idea of what we wanted the show to be about, and we took it to our because the same people that ran the local TV station were also our professors and our teachers. So we kind of gave them the concept. We did it just kind of like got our other classmates to kind of fit the same mold, and we came together, and it was a way not only to learn how to use what we were doing in class, and shout out to Bossier Parish Community College in Bossier City, because they gave us the tools to not only, it sounds crazy, but at the time, Bossier Parish Community College was a place where we were able to groom our craft and practice what we learned. And so that at the time, it was a great program. And
at
so
the time.
That being said, let's just say keyword at the time. And that's kind of when I guess not really downfall, but what happened, foreshadowing what would happen to our show. So going forward, we went to this and we presented it to our leaders, and I think honestly, y'all can kind of agree with me. They kind of wanted us to fail. They didn't believe that we would actually, pull it off.
Okay, so no, they didn't want us to fail, and this kind of goes into why a lot of the incoming issues that Straight Up started to have. Mm-hmm. Part of the staff, a lot of the staff was like, "Yeah, go for it. I'll even help you." You see on the first episode, you see blue lights. That's one of the instructors there help us do that. They was like, "Yeah, you can use this set." They did a lot, but
and you will see them. Actually, you will see them in the crowd.
Yeah.
Audience.
Yeah. You actually do. But, like, one of the issues was another part of the staff was like, we like that. We like what you did, but we're gonna now, like, if you're gonna continue to do this, you need to have this, you need to have that, you need to have this, and it's like, well, that's not really
let me stop
anymore.
You right there. And let me stop you right there, because we're kind of jumping the gun. So you're right about that, and so we're gonna get there first. So let me just kind of finish telling before we get to that part, what happened? So, like I said, I think we had half the staff on support and had half staff on it. And actually, we did that first episode. We got a lot of the students involved who didn't get a chance to actually we had a scholarship program to where there's maybe 15 of us. And so this allowed people who were in the same degree program we were in to come in outside of that program to work on equipment and actually be a part of something. So we wanted to give back to our own classmates. So this allowed other classmates who weren't part of the news program to do something different. And so that's what we always want to give back. And so the first episode, we did it. We got it edited, recorded. We were live, actually. We were live. We did it live. And first episode, success. And then, people started to get their eyes looked at. Hey, we want to be a part of this. And so, once again, second episode, success. And then, oh, man, this is actually cool. This is actually going pretty good. Third episode, that's kind of where everything started to get, more eyes than normal. And then, the powers that be, is the other 50%, I guess. It was saying what Brandon was saying. It said that, hey, they wanted to put more eyes on it and more involvement because everything we did straight up was all run by students. No, besides like the lights and stuff like that, but everything else was produced, edited, graphics, sometimes hosting was all done by students, and then the faculty wanted to get involved. And so, Lee, can you just tell us, like, what do you think happened, like, after episode 3, or just the kind of just started the decline of the TV version straight up? What happened?
Well, it's kind of like what you said, that we filmed, 3 episodes, and then, like, the higher-ups in the faculty or whatever, they try to make it too big too fast.
Right.
I think what our problem was.
Right.
And we were still trying to figure out our flow and stuff, and I think it was just kind of too many people wanted to take charge, but that wasn't what the show needed.
And what was it about? Because I think we had he who should not be named was wanting to take control of everything and wanted to be the star of it. And like I said, we didn't have stars. And I think that we wanted to be very mutual. So that's what we always had, like 2 females and we had 2 males and got different perspectives. And it was very ethnic. We had different races and backgrounds. It didn't matter. We just wanted to be very mutual. And even in our skits, you saw that it was always mutual. We didn't have just one set, and nobody was a star. I mean, I was the host, and y'all can attest, I would always say, who wants to host this? And people were like, no, dude, you take it. So there was never a star. I was never the star. I was just the host in front of it. And I can tell you right now, and I try to push other people to be in front of the camera or in the forefront, because I'm just one person, and other people need to shine too. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, powers that be just kind of just not really ruin it. It wasn't authentic anymore.
Right.
And it wasn't as creative. It was staged, and I think they wanted us because, and just to kind of recap, go backwards a little bit, the way the show was on TV, we would go to around campus and tell the students what the subject was and ask them to ask a question to our panelists, who were 4 people, and they didn't know what that question was, but they would have to hear the question and answer it live on TV. So that's why it was straight up, because it was truly authentic. They didn't know what they were going into, and it was just, straight up live, And so I think at one point the powers that be wanted to stage it. I'm like, well, we can't stage it because it's not straight up. And so, unfortunately, with me, like I said, I kind of got, I guess in my opinion, got a big head and said, hey, if this is not going to be a collective group, and it's just going to be, one star of the whole thing or one person being the head of it, then I don't want to be a part of it. And then after that, I don't know why you guys left, but that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to be a part of the TV version of it.
I think, to go further into that, what they wanted was fake conflict. They wanted, there always needs to be that one person that disagrees, or that one person that argues a lot. And really it was well, if we're really being ourselves, everybody's not gonna agree on one thing. You know, some of our best episodes were, you know, cat fights. You know, I'm just saying that, you know, just having that, like, I disagree, let's talk about it, you know, let's debate. But if you just having that one person where they're like, oh, I know this person won't like that, I know that person will like that, then it's no longer, you know, just being, you know, realistic. You know, it's they saw it as, oh, TV shows have to have that drama, which I don't blame them for thinking that, because that's what we see a lot on TV. I don't know how they do. He's not part of show anymore. But you know, these America's Got Talent. No, not that one. But you know, there's always that one, like, harsh critique. Oh, like, even that Simon. Chef. Yeah, Simon. I don't know if he's legit or not. Either way, like, they was looking for somebody like that. And I was like, I can see how that can, like, cause an issue, because you have this one person who comes on the show to, like, really speak their voice, really here to get down to a subject. They might have a thought of, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. How can they really get that answer if somebody, no matter what, is gonna, like, downplay you?
Right.
The subject will never get solved.
Yeah, it's really But just the long story short, when that happened, like, I know when I pulled out, a lot of you pulled out, and I think just from there they tried, like, 2 more episodes, and it just, they saw that it wasn't the same. And like, you know, no disrespect to the school, but during that same time is when the program started to, you know, fall from there too, fall from grace. And so, and then luckily we graduated during this time, and so, you know, so at this time, you know, telling my story, I went on to work in TV, and you know, during this time, like I said, I have a YouTube video story about this, but I went to go work in TV, and so try to reignite, you know, because people, like I said, once again, but you know, we have a Facebook page, follow us on Facebook, that said that, hey, you guys, we missed your show, you know, we should do something different with it. And people just kept messaging us and texting us and calling us. And so we tried an internet format, and, you know, we would go out into the street now, because we're graduating now. And so we went out to the street, and we had maybe how many different, like, episodes? I mean, what do you think, Brandon? How many? Was it 4? Was it 3 or 4?
I think it was like 2.
Was it 2? No, because it was me. No, it was 3. Me, you, Cody, and Kenya.
That was the Power Rangers, kinda. Yeah, Power Rangers. Pi Day. Oh, Pi Day. So there's Pi Day. There's Power Rangers.
And then we asked about our local city was Shreveport. And how do you feel about Shreveport? I think another one was about, it's about Shreveport. So I think we did 3. And then, long story short, after that, this is my side of everything in between this time. After that, I got sick with pneumonia. Long story short, I was basically in a coma for like a week. Woke up, couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't walk for like 5 months. And, you know, moved to Texas, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So, you know, and I don't know who's out there, but by the grace of God, I'm here now. So that's kind of where I've been at this whole thing. Got an email and a text message from somebody in California that's wanted to work with me. And so what better way to do things and get back on track and kind of get back to what I'm used to than doing this with you guys. So, Brandon, just kind of tell us where you've been at since the whole internet part of it, because I work with you, not Lee, on the internet series. So just kind of tell us where you've been at since the internet series and I guess the ending of the school version of Straight Up.
Well, I do want to point out why I left the TV part in college. It was because of how unorganized things got. Right. You really could feel like once you left, and I really think others would agree, once you left that part, once you left the show, you could feel that the heart of it was gone. And I noticed that. Courtney noticed that. A lot was just being just thrown in out of nowhere. You know, they want to change something every time. So I just got, especially me, like being like the technical part of it. I was like, this is too much. You got your 5 episodes, I'm out. That's it. So after I graduated, we both worked at the news station, and I could just see, I started learning a lot between the difference between, our local, Shreveport Bossier area and what people were doing outside of Louisiana. Like just the quality of things is different. So that was like me just like, I really want to help this, the Northwest Louisiana, really help the quality level of media that we're pushing out. Really like teach, kind of like just make everything slightly better. Show people that, we don't have to stick with this, what we call the masterpiece style of graphics, where it's like fake, like Photoshop and explosions everywhere, bad green screen. I really want to push like, hey, like this is old, creative. This is new. Like if we really want to stick out from the rest of the even like the surrounding cities like New Orleans, if we really want to stick out, we need to like step it up. So that's kind of like the mindset I had. Then we go into straight up. So when you came to me and was like, we should try to do some more episodes, I was like, cool. But if we're gonna do it, I really want to step things up and bring it to better quality, make sure it's like the same. And to do that, I was like, if we're gonna do this, we need to make sure we leave everything behind us in the past. And if we're gonna do this, I want to make sure like we do it our way. And that's what happened. We did it our way. I think what ended up, from my just perspective, what ended up causing us to stop again was just
life.
Well, life was the biggest thing, but not having those hands, not having a lot of hands, because around that time I was also working on my business. It was the early stage of my business. Lee was also working and trying to get his stuff going. It was just, we didn't have enough hands. I couldn't do everything. You couldn't do everything. And it kind of just crumbled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, I was telling you, I'd graduate with my second degree. So, and that's one thing, like I said, man, just being an adult is different, And so, Lee, during this time, like, where were you going? Like, where did you go after, like, straight up and everything?
Man, I've been like spinning my wheels this whole time trying to like place
Remember?
that. Yeah, that too. Like it's a lot of like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks is kind of where I've been for the past like decade, even before straight up, honestly. Like I worked with you guys at the news station for a very, very small amount of time. And right now I'm working at a radio station. Right. Not doing really anything remotely creative, so that kind of sucks. But that's where I'm at right now. And like, I mean, I spent the better part of a decade working the front desk at a hotel, so anything that's not that is pretty up there for me.
Yeah, and and that's I'm sorry, were you still offended? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, and like I said, just seeing that we're still trying to work in our career field, that is what impresses me the most. And just to see all of us still have somewhat of the same passion for it, not just like because we're all different podcasts and different venues in our life right now. We're still trying to have the same idea that this will work, and we want you all out there who are listening to join us, join the conversation, and be straight up. And like, you can ask us questions, and you can ask us things like, how do you feel about this, and things like that. And so just never be scared to be yourself. Never, because like we all come from different backgrounds, and I think that's what makes us blend so well. And I can't, and maybe y'all can agree with me, but there were so many people at our school who were like hermit crabs. And
right. Yeah.
Just doing this like made them like come out their shell. And like I'm not trying to get credit for this, but I think it helped them be better people going after school. You know,
dude, I'm one of those people.
Really? How so?
Like, I mean, I'm hella introverted, dude. Like us three get along very well. We have great conversations and everything. But man, you put me in like a party situation, I just shut down.
Right.
And like straight up has been a pretty good outlet.
Okay.
Yeah. That's true for a lot of even the other people that we know. And it's funny how that works. Is like introverts usually end up being that way is because they feel like, oh, these people aren't interested in the stuff that I'm interested in. Why should I even I'm just gonna stay in my corner and like read my book or whatever. But going to what you said early into this episode was like, we usually are the black sheeps, but nowadays a lot of stuff that you were called like a geek or nerd for back like over a decade ago, now everybody's doing it. You wasn't gonna call yourself, oh, I like anime, I'm that anime kid, because everybody's like anime, like what's that? Yeah, you wasn't gonna say, oh, I like Marvel, I like comics, oh, I like, I'll play, Dungeons and Dragons, you wouldn't say that back then because you'd be like, who's this nerd? Who's this geek?
Yeah.
Go put them in a trash can. I was never put in a trash can. But, that's just how it's funny how times have changed to where, like, fantasy and everything has really grown and people
escapism.
It's weird, but it's great. It's a great change. It kind of shows that, like, it's things like that show that our society can change. Now, that being said, there are some things that has changed for, I think a different way, like some of the music and, television, in my opinion. But, it's just things do change. And that's all more reason why with social media and a lot of other platforms, more people feel like, hey, if I can't speak out here, I'm going to create my own space where I can speak out, which is why podcasts are getting so big, which is why people tend to go live. Our friend, you even said, man, he has really, stepped up, especially after he got a girlfriend. Like, he has really started saying whatever he wants. I was man, I don't know what point of his life that he just flipped, but yeah, he's not the same person to where he was back in the day.
And that same person, I don't know if you know you're talking about, Lee, but maybe you remember the skit. If you go back and watch our show, our episodes, I think it's about age and was it just a number, which is on YouTube. And we had a skit, and there's a skit with a young gentleman on there. I begged him to be part of the skit, and most of us know him, like because we had classes with him. But this guy was a hermit. He did not want to talk to anybody. He was really quiet.
Held his head down a lot.
And he wasn't even though I'm on. They say I have a TV or radio voice. I don't think so because I'm from the South and my pronunciation is not the best. But I do what I can. Anyway, long story short, this gentleman, this young guy, he was really nervous to do this, and he did it, and it was a great skit that we did. And after that skit, I noticed him just open up, and like you said, like looking at him now after college, he is just a different person. I'm not saying that we make changes in people's lives, but I really think just doing something like that, it helped him open up and for him to be himself and just to be open, and that's what the world should be like, guys. And that's kind of how I am. Like, there's too much negativity. And then not to be all sad and depressed right now, but suicide rates are up, especially when people under 30. And you don't know how just saying hello or saying how you doing to somebody can make or change their day, And it's stuff like that we want to welcome. We want to welcome people who have the questions or that feel a certain way about certain things to open up. And hey, you're not alone. Trust me, because if you saw me in high school, I was Mr. Popular, and I was, but like I said, I never did cliques. I was prom king. But after school, after high school, because I had my fair share of bullying, but I didn't let it bother me. But there are people who are not as strong as some of those people who can take criticism. Because right now, I'm the complete opposite as I was in high school and college. I'm like a hermit crab. I'm like an introvert. I'm like, a super quote unquote nerd now. Because I didn't play video games growing up. Now I play them all the time. And like, just being different, it's okay. It's okay. And we want to tell you all, it is okay to be different. So, I mean, how do you feel about this that we have the power in a podcast or whatever we do to change people's lives?
You want to take that one, Lee?
Well, I mean, it's back to what you said originally, that like what we're doing now, it's changing our lives because it's giving us a creative outlet, and it's giving us a place to kind of vent whatever issues we may be having with the world, and a place to kind of to break down those thoughts we're having. And on the flip side, as people listening, maybe even to this, they may hear these things and be like, I've had these thoughts in my head forever. These people are putting them into words I've never been able to.
Right.
And that's maybe that's something we can provide for people. I hope so.
Right. And like I'm with Brandon, like just be unfiltered. I mean, we're gonna try to keep it respectful, of course, and very we don't want to be insensitive at all. That's when we don't want to do it. But sometimes you have to teeter-totter on insensitive just to feel like, hey, this is what we're trying to bring across to your attention. And just to segue, that's kind of what we're going to do with this podcast. And some of the subjects we're going to have this season, because, like I said, this is all a trial run. So this is all it's not new to Brandon. I don't know if it's new for Lee, but this is definitely new for somebody who's never done podcasts. I'm more radio and TV. So, I mean, this is all new to me. So, I mean, if you guys have any kind of criticisms, Brandon or Lee or whoever's out there listening, let me know. But this is going to be, we want to do things that we see daily. And I said in the video that this show is all about millennials, but we welcome everyone, especially now that we're adults. And I want to say that, hey, we're millennials, which is from what they have is titled 1982 through 96. So if you're born between those time frames, you are considered a millennial, according to Wikipedia. That's very true, right? But, it's not just about us anymore. It's about everyone because, there are some people who they go through millennial type issues, So going forward, we have episodes that we're going to do. We did a show about dating once. That was our pilot episode. But we're going to kind of tap into dating. Like, we're going to talk about dating again and get women, men's, and other people's or others, just whoever, perspective on it. We're going to segue from interracial dating to same-sex dating, everything else. We're going to talk about that. We have episodes about voting and how now, just even pre-planning these episodes, voting is going to be different now, right? Because it's the coronavirus. And how is it going to affect the presidential race this year? That's going to be one. Also, we have one. We're going to do one about fake news. And people say fake news is, it's always fake news. But since we've all worked in fake news, I'm pretty sure we can kind of clarify those issues, right?
Yeah. It's not just, we're not going to just talk about those, the common subjects, like just talking about a lot of like, even like, hey, we're checking in, we're going to have like, seeing how well this goes, like just having an episode just to talk about like, the coronavirus and how you can say, fine, or like if we can get it working, just try to even get you all to like, chime in on it. Because I mean, right now, a lot of people are feeling lonely. We're seeing that a lot of people are like, because of this loneliness that people are suffering from, more people are drinking, the people that were having drug addictions, that's gone to a whole nother level. So even the suicidal rate. The mental issues. Like even now the suicidal rate has risen around this just from this little while. So like, just being able to have that like, hey, what's up? Like, what's up? What you got going? Just being that person, like, we can provide that.
Okay. So, and we're gonna try to wrap this up right quick, and I'm gonna ask this with Lee, but we want to hear back from you. We're very approachable. Me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be straight up with you. I am the last person. I hate criticism. I hate it because I'm a perfectionist, and when I get criticized, I'm like, oh, I'm so mad. But at the same time, you know what? That's part of growing up. You're gonna have to get it, you know. So I'm open to feedback. If you didn't like us, let us know what we can work on. We want to hear back from you. We want to know, what do you want from us? What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? What questions do you have? Feel free to talk to us. And I want to know from Lee, what do you think that people will want from us? What do you think?
Right now, I think the main thing what people are looking for is someone to talk to, especially like right now in the current climate we're in. People are just looking for someone to talk to, even if you're listening to like this pre-recorded thing, for instance. You know, you're hearing our discussion, but after the fact, you can join that discussion. That's what comment sections are for. And
okay.
Let's build a community with this thing. That's all I got.
Okay. And Brandon, what do you think people should expect from us?
Well, like for the most part, like being able to just, you know, like I said, pretty much what Lee said, just being able to just be that outlet for some people, because at the end of the day, that's what is needed. You know me, like, you know, we're gonna pretty much do. I don't want to say like, because at the end of the day, we're gonna be real. So like, there might be a conversation where you was like, "Hey man, what you think about this?" Or "Hey, I got this issue," and I might straight up tell you like, "You're tripping." You know, you might have to reflect on what you're talking about yourself, because I'm sorry, can't get with it. I'm not saying don't bring those to us. Just saying, like, don't think we're going to be your yes man. Because that's not what we're about. I'm not going to be a yes man.
Oh, trust me. And we got a lot to talk about, because I need the motivation. Because I'm a big guy. I'm a big boy. I was a lineman in high school. And so this whole coronavirus thing has impacted me. Because since college, my belly sticks out a little bit further. So I need some weight loss tips. And so if y'all got any questions about this, since coronavirus has happened, I'm on a personal weight loss goal. I'm trying. So that's me putting myself out there. So we're going to talk about that too. I'm going to have a show about people who were my size that are like fit now. I want to get their advice about, well, what was the process like? You know, how do you give up food? So we talk about the most craziest but controversial, but we're real. And so we want you to join us. Join the conversation. Join a fight. You can find us on Facebook at Straight Up Show on Facebook, on YouTube, Straight Up the Show, and Straight Up the Show on Instagram and on Twitter. So if y'all have any more questions, let us know. Until then, I am Calvin. That's Brandon and Lee. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in to the very first episode, guys. Give your hands a hand clap. We got through episode number 1. How do y'all feel?
I'm feeling pretty good.
We got through it.
So this is episode number 1. I want to thank y'all for joining us. Until then, there's always one rule to the show. You have to be
straight up.
See you guys next time.
See ya.